If you ever wondered the gas mileage efficiency on a Jeep XJ on a cross-country overland trip, this video might be for you. Take a look. I wanted to get a video out before the end of the year about the fuel mileage that I got on my Jeep XJ while traveling across the country. Actually, it's not this Jeep XJ right here. It is that Jeep XJ right there. If you look in one of my previous videos, you'll see that I have two identical 2000 model Jeep XJs. Now, before I get into the actual fuel mileage, what I did before the trip, obviously I changed the oil. I used regular 10W30 Pennzoil Platinum oil. I put all new fuel injectors and wrapped the fuel injectors with the fine engineering fuel rail wrap. Fuel rail wrap is supposed to cut down on heat soak that these Jeep XJs have. Another thing that I did was I, of course, flushed the radiator and put all new coolant in it. I had a new water pump, new thermostat housing. Made sure I had a nice, good, fresh battery. And changed my differential fluids, transmission fluids, and transfer case fluids. Topped her off with water, windshield washer fluid. And I have a previous walk-around video of this unit. This is the one that I traveled in. It had a roof rack on it, and it was, if you take a look at my walk-around video, you'll see that it was completely packed. Right now it's empty, and I'm doing a little work on both of these. I had a roof rack with the solar panel on it, which it is still there. That's the Harbor Freight Thunderbolt solar panel. It works really good. I traveled all the way from Gulf of Mexico up to Yellowstone National Park and visited a few places on the way there. And without incident, I did have one check engine code, and it was a misfire code. And I think it had to do with heat soak because I was stopping and starting in Denver. And my temperature got a little bit above 210, and as y'all know, these things like to operate at 210 or below and not above it. I have open country 3 all-terrain Toyo tires, and I had them all aired up to 36 psi so I could get decent gas mileage. I did air them down a little bit when I went off-road on one of my dispersed camping camping trips. I'll put a little link up there so you can, if you want to see that. These tires are P225/75R15 Open Country 3 by Toyo. But overall, the Jeep performed flawlessly, and I was very surprised by the gas mileage. So take a look at that. I started checking my mileage in Louisiana. You can see by this spreadsheet, I've got the city and state that I was in, the gallons that I used, the amount. So on this trip, I spent going from all the way to the Gulf, from the Gulf Coast of Louisiana to actually northern Wyoming. When I got to northern Wyoming, my wife and kids met me up there, and we had a rental car just for a little bit. But I traveled all the way from the Gulf of Mexico and Louisiana to Jackson, Wyoming, and back. And I spent $728 on fuel. And I used 202 gallons, and that's my mileage. And the MPG that I averaged was 18.76. And there were some instances where I actually got 23 miles to the gallon. Nope, 28. So in Hugo, Colorado, I would imagine this is all downhill. I got 28 MPG filled up with 11 gallons. The worst fuel mileage that I got was, let's see here. Okay, the worst fuel mileage was 15.82 MPG, and that was in Amarillo, Texas. I was actually going up and down the canyon there. Not sure why that was so bad in that area, but anyhow, Jackson, Wyoming, I got 9 miles to the gallon. That's some very oh, you know what? I was riding up an off-road trail in this mountain trying to find dispersed camping, and so my mileage severely. I tracked my mileage between fill-ups. The furthest that I went between fill-ups was looks like Hugo, Colorado. I had 324 miles between fill-ups, so I got fuel pretty often. One of the reasons I got fuel often was because the XJ there, this one, which is the one I went in, has the original fuel pump in it. And I read or saw on some videos somewhere that if you let the fuel run really low, your fuel pump has a tendency to overheat. So I didn't want that to happen. So pretty much I never went below a half a tank. I don't know if that's true or not. Y'all can tell me in the comments what you've heard about that, but that's why I never really let my my fuel get below half a tank, because I didn't want my fuel pump to overheat. Although I did check the fuel rail pressure. I'll see if I can leave a link in a little bit up there on the video I did on that. And the video, the fuel pressure on that XJ was right in spec. So I didn't feel that I needed to change the fuel pump before that trip. So without a radical lift or an extraordinary amount of cargo, again, it was just me and a bunch of camping gear. I got close to 20 mpg. That's not bad. So in case you were wondering what you could do miles per gallon on an overland vehicle platform with a Jeep XJ, hopefully this will give you a little bit better idea. I hope you found this video helpful, and y'all have a great evening and a great new year.